What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Paris Head, man. Sorry I've been gone for a couple weeks. Took a little hiatus. New schedule at work really kind of threw everything off when it came to making these videos. But I'm back now and super excited to connect with you guys again, man. I want to make a little bit different video today. Obviously, there's been a couple games since I was here. We went out there, lost to South Carolina. Tough loss. One we like to have back. Then could have won that game, and then go out there against UNC Charlotte. Maybe still kind of feeling the deflation from that South Carolina loss and underperform against UNC Charlotte, and then go out there last week against Kentucky and look like a completely new ball club and go out there and do what we know this team's capable of doing. So very pleased with getting that win last week. Just need to work on being more consistent. But today I want to really talk about this coaching staff. Do I think this coaching staff is the right staff to lead Tennessee back to the promised land and allow us to win a national title? Can the staff do it? And I know, hey, it's early, right? It's very early to make those type of determinations right now. We've only seen one off season with this staff. We've only seen 10 ball games with this staff. But do I think this staff can get it done based on what I've seen? Well, if you've been watching my videos, you probably already know what I'm going to say, right? Absolutely. Absolutely, I believe in this staff. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why I believe in these guys. Go back and look at where this team started. You guys remember that West Virginia ball game? You guys remember watching us play East Tennessee and UTEP and Florida? You guys remember those games, don't you? We couldn't block a soul. Remember West Virginia? We couldn't block anybody. They looked like they had the best D-line of all time. We couldn't block a soul. Couldn't even get a playoff, guys. Do you guys remember every other snap was a tackle in the backfield? We couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 1, we had no chance to ever get it, ever. You guys remember those days? Look at us now. Look at the O-line. Will Friend, tip my hat to you. You're doing a great job, buddy. We couldn't figure out who in the world to block on any play. We were all over the place, very incoherent, very non-cohesive, did not know how to play together as a unit. And you look at us now, okay, we're not missing as many assignments. We're getting the hat on the hat. Guys are working together, even despite some rotations going on in that front. I think that the coaching staff has finally kind of got their guys that they want to have in there. We lost Trey Smith, which was huge, best player on our entire team, but Tatum stepped in, done a pretty good job for the most part. And I mean, this unit has really come along. Perhaps the most improved unit on the entire team is that offensive line. We can actually run the ball now, especially on those short yard situations. We can run the ball. That's actually an option. That's actually a viable option for us now. And very, very pleased at how they know how to, combo block and then get up to the second level. We didn't see this for the first several weeks of the season, guys. They didn't know how to do it. Now they're doing it, and they're doing it, I want to say perfectly. Yeah, this O-line isn't perfect. We're not, the best O-line in the country or anything like that. But just from where we started, you probably give this unit an F, to where we are now. Heck, I think we're definitely a B minus at least. This is a very, very solid O-line. Garantano has time to actually deliver some throws now. He's standing tall in the pocket. He's still taking shots every throw, but a lot of that's on him just because that's who he is. He's the guy that, hey, I'm going to stand here and take this big hit, but I'm going to deliver a strike down the field. That's just who he is. He's a tough guy. He ain't shying away from contact. He'll take the big hit. That ain't really the O-line's fault always, but, the O-line's looking much better. Overall protection is looking better. If you look at the way the backs get involved in protection, still see Tim Jordan missing some blocks here and there, and Ty Chandler as well. But the tight ends are blocking better. Just everyone's blocking better, and I think part of that also is Garantano really coming into his own and understanding this system and kind of knowing where his reads are, his pre-snap reads and things like that, and what possible place he can check into, how he can slide to protection, things like that. If you watch my earlier videos, something I said about Garantano, I said, hey, he's making all the throws, he looks good, when passing the ball, But what's his biggest downfall? His pre-snap reads. His pre-snap reads. He's gotten much better pre-snap, and that's a lot. You can attribute a lot of the improvement in protection to that as well. Because now, hey, he sees his blitz coming. He knows where his hot routes are, or he sees his blitz coming. Hey, let me move my back over here, or hey, blitz is coming here. Get it out of my hand quick. Step up in the pocket. He's doing a lot better moving instead of just being a statue back there. He's using his athleticism to move and buy time, but he's still looking to pass first and get the ball down the field. I think he's improved tremendously as well. Even though he didn't start the season bad, it was just kind of a deal where, hey, his pre-snap reads and just some of the little things he wasn't doing right were putting us in bad situations. But now he's really commanding that offense and controlling us and keeping us in favorable down and distances for the most part. And then even our running backs have improved. Tim Jordan's a guy that week 1 he looked pretty good against West Virginia, and then next several weeks he kind of fell off a little bit. And I was like, hey, stop giving this guy the ball. But they stuck with him. And these past couple of weeks, I believe maybe since the Bama game or maybe the South Carolina game, he's really starting to run hard again, and he's really giving us something that we can actually turn to and give him the ball, and we can actually get something positive out of it. So that's huge. Love the way we're using Ty Chandler, getting him the ball into the flats and getting the ball down the field, and just think the offense has improved a lot. Receivers are looking better, getting open, getting more separation than they did. I think back earlier in the season, they didn't get much separation. But I think kind of part of that improvement on the offense is what's something that we were all saying early on. Hey, we got a bunch of big-bodied receivers on the perimeter. Let's take some shots down the field to those guys. And it took us until about maybe the Georgia game or so until we really started doing that. And guess what? Now all of a sudden, our offense is looking much better. Other things are opening up because we're taking those shots on the field. The defense can't come in and stack the box. They got to respect the deep route because Gary Talon can make the throws and our receivers can go up and make plays. And now, hey, some of those shorter and intermediate routes are open now because they got to respect the deep threat. So, that's huge. Love seeing us getting more guys involved, seeing Murphy get involved more. I think he's going to be a big-time player for us in the future. They got to tip your hat to Ty Helton. He's done a great job as a coordinator for the most part. My only quarrel with him is second down. His second down calls don't seem to be very good. He seems to do a lot of lateral stuff, and we lose yards a lot of times, or put ourselves in 3rd and 5s. When we had a 2nd and 2 to make a bad call, we're in 3rd and 5 all of a sudden. But for the most part, his scheme, I like it a lot. He's done a good job of kind of manufacturing protection for Garantano, giving him a lot of quick reads, a lot of motions and things like that, and misdirections and things like that. To really kind of give him an opportunity to be successful. Loved us coming out against Kentucky this past week. First play of the game, we take a shot down the field to Jawan Jennings. That was a thing of beauty. Only thing is Garantano makes a bad throw, but hey, Jennings was open, and Dalmore Anderson was open too. He was actually, I think he was either in the slot or maybe he was lined up at tight end, but he was on that same side. He was open too. Garantano's made a bad throw, but great play call. I love what Ty Helton's doing. Can't wait to see him get his guys in there, get a big, beefy O-line, get some big, beefy backs back there to really come down the hill on guys. And I think this offense is going to be very, very beautiful to watch. I can see it being very similar to USC back in the day when they had Reggie Bush and Lindell White. They had, Dwayne Jarrett and Steve Smith and all those big-time receivers and big-time tight ends and this big-time O-line, big-time quarterback, big-time running backs. And just, boom, whatever they want to do, they're doing it, and they're doing it pro style, and it's just a thing of beauty to watch. I can see us going in that direction once we get the personnel in there to do that. But yeah, offense, doing a great job. Love what they're doing on that side of the ball. Moving to the defense, D-line, hey, their group, they've been pretty consistent all season. Even the first week, they weren't really getting moved too much from the spot. They've been pretty consistent. I think that the improvement we've seen there is now we're seeing more guys get involved in the rotation, which means, hey, some of those guys that early in the season, they didn't have the trust of the coaches to earn playing time. And now they've improved enough to where, hey, coach feels comfortable putting them in the field, and they come in, they give us some solid reps and some solid minutes for us, some solid snaps. So that's huge there that guys are continuing to develop. Even if they're not starters and even if they're not guys that play every week, they're still getting better, and that's a sign of a good coaching staff. Love to see that out of that group. And then our linebackers have improved tremendously as well. Really that whole group, Darren Kirkland's the one guy that, he's improved, but in my opinion, he's kind of separated himself as the worst guy in that group. I mean, maybe I'm hard on the guy because I expect so much out of him, but he gets blocked way too much, way too easily. But probably the biggest improvement out of that inside linebacking group for me is Will Ignat. He's the guy, I watched his high school film when he committed to us back in 2016, and I said, man, this guy's a stud. This guy can play. This guy's going to be a beast. He's the next Al Wilson, right? And then comes in last year, doesn't really play much. When he gets, I don't think he got in really much at all. He got in some snaps, didn't look very good when he got in. And then this season he gets in, doesn't look impressive either, especially, looking at the spring and looking at early in the season. But go back and watch him now. He's really starting to look like a ball player again. He's flying around, getting downhill fast and physical, making plays, looking better in pass drops, understanding what he's supposed to do. And that's something, if you go back and watch West Virginia game and even some of the other games, the recaps I did, what was my big complaint with the linebackers? Well, I said, hey, they're too slow. They're playing it way too freaking slow. When you see the run, don't try to shadow the running back. Look to see where the hole is that he's going to run through and meet him in that hole, beat him to the spot, right? And you're starting to see guys do that more, and that's contributing to how we're able to stop the run, because the way our D-line plays, they're pretty much holding gap. They're two-gapping it or whatever. And now, they're pretty much giving our linebackers a one-on-one opportunity with the back to make a play, but they just have to be there to make that play. And now our backers are getting there, and it's a thing of beauty to watch, looking better in the pass drops. Just great improvement out of that group, man. Really, really love it. Danny Batuli is definitely a stud for us. Hope to get him back next season. I mean, he's been rock solid for us, man. He's definitely one of the leaders on that defense for sure. Looking at our secondary, or looking at our outside backers, we lost Kongbo, but he was starting to come along, doing much better, holding his spot in the run game. Didn't get much pass rush out of him, but, did well. But Johnson stepped in and has done admirable in his absence. And Bennett, I believe, is the other guy that gets in there. He does well. And Darrell Taylor, he's a guy that's improving each and every week as well. Really starting to learn how to use that speed rush. We saw last week he had 4 sacks, which is huge. Just want to see more consistency out of him. He can't go 3, 4, 5 games without getting a sack. And then expect to make up for it like that just by having one big game. I want to see consistently him doing that, because he can have those type of games every game, because he's that athletic and that explosive. He's going against these big, fat offensive tackles. He can beat those guys with speed. He needs to do that more often. But yeah, man, I think that group has done well, especially with the big injury to Kongbo out of that unit. And then looking at our secondary, man, our corners, having 2 true freshmen out there, and then Bailey Buchanan as well. I think they've done a great job. Terry Fair's done a great job with that group, and Coach Pruitt, I'm sure he's had his hand in that as well. You look at them early in the season. What was their issue? Well, number one, they were busting too many assignments, which you expect at a true freshman. But number two, they were in good position a lot of times, but weren't making plays on the ball. I think now you're starting to see them compete better for 50-50 balls and things like that, and win at the point of attack more consistently, which is huge. Then we have 2 studs out there at corner, and Alante Taylor and, of course, Bryce Thompson leading us in interceptions. So love what I'm seeing out of those guys, man. Bailey Buchanan's a guy that's been very inconsistent. He has some games where he plays. Look at him last week. I mean, and even the week before that against UNC Charlotte. I think he was picked on. He's picked on. And, yeah, he is playing in that nickel a lot of the time, and that's probably the hardest position to play on defense, is because, you have a two-way go, and you're typically covering the kind of the quickest guys on the field, and you got to come in and do some run support as well. So it's a tough position, but, he's getting exposed there, and, look for teams to continue to exploit him if he can't figure out what the heck he's doing. But then looking at our safeties, man. Our safeties, I tell you what, that group right there, I mean, they may be even more improved, in my opinion, than that offensive line. I mean, our safeties, I tip my hat to Pruitt and to Coach Kelly and to those safeties in that daggum room, because they've improved tremendously, man. Just starting with Nigel Warrior and Micah Abernathy. 2 guys that have made huge improvements, man. We'll start with Warrior. He's a guy, has all the ability, right? Was a guy that was supposed to be one of our guys coming into the season, supposed to be probably our best guy on defense. Came out, was solid, right, for the most part. But what was my big issue with him? I said, hey, this guy's playing too slow. When he sees run, where is he, right? I don't see him. I'm watching the game. I see run. I'm like, where's safety? Where's safety? Where's safety? He doesn't get into the daggum screen until the guy's like 8 yards up the field. Where you at, Nigel? Where you at? Now, you see him getting downhill much quicker. He's coming down, filling those run lanes, making a lot of tackles close to the line of scrimmage, which is something you love to see your safeties being able to do. You don't see him get beat much in coverage. I can't really think of too many times when anyone's caught a pass on him. He's solid in coverage, definitely is a leader, gets guys lined up, makes all the right checks and gets in the right coverages. Great job out of him, man. Love what I'm seeing out of him. Physical guy, really tries to play hard, man. Love the way he plays, and just love the way he's improved, man. He's improved so much this season. Really love it. But probably for me, the most improved player in this entire team, and this is going even back to the Butch Jones era, that's Micah Abernathy. He's a guy. I don't want to say I didn't like him because I don't know the guy, but I guess just as a player, I did not like that guy at all as a player. He used to just drive me insane the way he played. He was just slow, missed tackles, got juked out of his shoes, never could cover anybody. I couldn't stand to watch that guy play. Look at him now. And me and my brother were kind of laughing about this the other day because we felt the same way about this guy. And then looking at him now, the plays that he's making, the improvement that he's made, it's something. It's something. This is a guy. He's pretty much. He's. I don't like using ultimatums, right? Or ultimates, whatever. He's a guy that's. I'm gonna say it. He's always in the right position. Okay. He's always doing the right thing. He is rock solid back there. Okay. He's coming downhill, making tackles close to the line of scrimmage. He's solid in coverage. You never see him out of position. Never. He's always doing the right thing, man. He's a leader back there, gets guys lined up. Just phenomenal. He's a guy, if I was an NFL scout before this season, I wouldn't touch that guy with a 1,000,000-foot pole. I wouldn't even sniff in his direction. Wouldn't even sniff that way. Now, if I'm a scout, I'm saying, hey, how can we get this guy in our team? Because he's improved tremendously, man. He is a stud back there. Love what they've done with him. Love what he's doing with himself. Just can't say enough about him, man. He's just Micah Abernathy. Great job. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Because I love it. I love it, and I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Because you're proved me way wrong. You are, and I'm thrilled about it. And even Theo Jackson improved as well. He's getting more consistent and doing some big things back there for us. So, despite the injuries back there in that back end, secondary has improved and continued to be rock solid, man. This team's improved. And something that I love is, I kind of get the feeling that kind of the casual observer, well, at least the casual observers that I converse with and that I know, I like to think of us as common sense type guys, right? You make a lot of common sense adjustments. Hey, why in the world aren't we taking shots down the field? Why in the world isn't this guy playing, or whatever. Those common sense things that we typically talk about. It seems coaching staffs never really make those changes. It takes them forever to make those changes. It takes them like 2 seasons to make those changes. This staff seems to be very common sense. We've seen pretty much everything that we've talked about on this channel, not just me, but you guys in the comments as well have mentioned a lot of these things. You're seeing this staff actually implement those types of things, which means, hey, they have common sense. They're actually thinking about stuff and making changes to improve this team. And I love it. I think that we're really moving in the right direction with this staff. Yeah, we've lost 5 games this season. You say, hey, there's a game or two that we've lost already this season that you like to have back, and maybe, hey, if we had a mulligan, maybe that game turns out differently. Definitely a South Carolina game, and I'll do a postseason recap when the season's over with, and we'll kind of go through and talk about it a little bit more. But have only won 5 games this season, but if we can win out, finish the regular season with 7 wins, and potentially win 8 have 8 wins if we win a bowl game, I think that's definitely a huge accomplishment for Coach Pruitt. And if you watch my first video, I said, hey, this is a 9-win team at worst. So, you know, we've already fallen short of that. But, hey, this team definitely could have won 9 games this season for sure. But, hey, that's not going to happen now. But, you know, what this staff has done, I mean, they've done a great job. And I had faith in these guys. And I still have faith in these guys. And that's why I said week 1, after we lost to West Virginia and we looked awful, I said, hey, we look bad, okay, right? But let's not panic. What's going to tell me, you know, what this staff's all about is how do we improve from here on out? How do we improve week to week? And we've improved week to week. I mean, I would argue that we've improved as much as, if not more than, any team in the nation. Look at teams like South Carolina and, you know, Missouri and some of these teams. I mean, have they improved? West Virginia, I mean, have they gotten any better than they were week 1? I think you can look at us and say for sure that team is definitely better than they were week 1, like no question about it. Definitely better. And so that's a huge testament to this staff, and can't wait to see how we improve, you know, throughout the rest of the season and then moving forward, especially once we get in some guys that really fit this system. Because think about it, we went from a spread style offense to a daggone pro style. Huge change. Went from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Huge change. Okay. The only players on that roster that were recruited for those systems are true freshmen. They're true freshmen. They were brought in this season under this staff. Okay, we have spread offensive personnel. We're trying to run pro style. We have 4-3 personnel. We're trying to run 3-4. And you know what? We're doing it. We're doing it. And you know what they say? You see the biggest strides made from year 1 to year 2. And so we've made tremendous strides this season. Can't wait to see what we do next season and moving forward once these guys continue to develop in this system and we get new guys in that actually are recruited for this system. I mean, the future looks very bright in my opinion. You know, of course, there's a potential for us to finish this season 5-7, and that's realistic, right? It's also realistic that we go 7-5, potentially 8-5 if we win a bowl game too. So. You know, just want to see us go out here and fight hard these next 2 weeks. Definitely 2 very winnable games. 2 different opponents. You have a kind of a team that wants to pick you apart through the air, and then a team that wants to, you know, run it mostly, but they'll throw it as well. So, you know, 2 different teams. So it's going to be 2 different, you know, kind of preparations for these 2 games. But, you know, I definitely 2 very winnable games. Hopefully, we can finish the season off strong and continue this momentum into the bowl week and into the off season, into the early recruiting period, and into the original signing period and all that stuff. So, you know, definitely think this staff can get it done for us. Give them a couple more years, and you know, we're going to be a team that's competing with Georgia for the SEC East. You know, Florida's coming up as well, so watch out for those guys. And you know, I think we're a team that could even, you know, in a couple years, once we get a few guys in here, hey. You know, we're going down there to Tuscaloosa and saying, hey, we're here to play ball game. You know, we're here to play ball game. So, you know, definitely love it, man. We'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. What do you guys think about this staff? I mean, is this staff getting it done for us? Are you guys pleased with the improvement that we've seen this year? You know, what do you like to see maybe these next 2 weeks to kind of give you some confidence going into next season? And you know, do you think that this team really has a chance to win out and potentially finish with 8 wins this season? Love to hear you guys' thoughts, man. As always, man, thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for the next video.